Video here. I was live because it's supposed to be quick and easy, but it keeps disconnecting and reconnecting, whatever. But anyhow, so again, if I had something to call this, I would call it "Please Watch Your Children." Or no, because this is about accountability. That's what irks me all around: accountability, responsibility, and consistency. So we're gonna talk first about watch your kids. So I was talking about this little boy across the street. He was okay. Gonna start the whole story. You can go back to part one for that, but this is gonna be part two. So I went back and I went back and I started talking about the backstory behind it, about the people directly across the street and their gate. They had to fix their gate because what happened was somebody called animal control on them. It wasn't me. A long time ago, before they got here, I tried to call animal control because the people right next door to me, those Spanish people, had like 5 dogs, and those dogs were pooping in my yard. And my yard is not a porta potty for your pets. It's not a toilet for your pets. That's not what my yard is for, right? But when I called animal control, nothing happened. Nothing came of it. Nothing. I couldn't find the right number to call. I called actually animal control, called non-emergency police, called the shelter, the animal shelters. Nothing happened. But as I was sitting here, as y'all know, regarding job 6, I think it was, waiting for equipment and shit. I had the windows wide open and, whatever, working from, like in front of the windows. And I saw the animal control people pull up, and they actually issued a ticket or something, put it in their mailbox, whatever. I told the lady about it when I saw her outside the next time. And then, next thing I know, their gate, I guess, has some breaches, and maybe that's what they told them. They need to fix the gate. The dogs are getting out. No, the dogs are not just getting out. You're just you're letting that be the way the dogs get out. So they went and they got something that looks like to fix the gates. And I haven't seen the dogs really out front that much lately. They are still out there, but not like they were before. So the little boy is, egging the dogs on, instigating, saying, I don't remember what he was saying to the dogs, but kids do that, so no big deal. But then next thing I know, he starts getting violent. He's like kicking the gate, and I'm looking like, okay, I hear it across the street, so I know his parents or whoever hear it. And this is with the old couple, the one that was like Maria, Maria, but 3 o'clock in the morning drunk. But so he's kicking the gate and kicking the gate, and I'm not saying anything because I'm like, okay, he's right by his house. If I hear it way across the street, I'm sure his parents hear it and are going to say something, or his guardians or whatever adults are in his vicinity that know him are going to say anything. Nobody says anything. I look up to see if I see any adults over there. I don't see any adults, but the way that they have it, and at first I'm thinking, and it is partially because of parking, and partially I think there's other reasons that I won't get into because a lot of it is going to be me hypothesizing, and who has time for that? I'm not doing that. They have their reasons. So, but I kind of know, but there's some reasons, But so what happens is, I look up. I don't see any adults. I don't see anybody come into the window, come into the door to see what's going on. Nothing. And that's what I talked about when this lady, she, if it's something that belongs to you that you are responsible for the care of, watch it. I watch my yard. You know what I'm saying? These are human children, little human beings, and you're not watching to see what they're doing. You know that you don't have a gate. So if you hear somebody kicking a gate, obviously they're kicking a gate that doesn't belong to them. And this couple, I don't know these people personally. I don't have no personal investment, but just out of goodness, these people just fixed their gate. They paid money. They spent a whole day or two going out, addressing the issue, probably with animal control, going out and, trying to find out the best thing to do to fix the gate portion, and then actually trying to fix it themselves. And it took them a couple of days and time. And these are older people. I know these older people are doing probably better than me, but still, it takes time. Even for someone my age, it takes time and effort, that you could be doing something else with because somebody else don't know how to behave appropriately. You know what I'm saying? Somebody don't brought kids into this world they can't raise or won't raise. Be responsible for your kids. And so the boy is just kicking, just bam, 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 kicking the gate. And, I looked, I don't see no parents. Nobody's even looking out the window. I'm like, I'm over here across the street and I hear this. There's got to be. And so I'm like, baby, baby. And at first he's ignoring me because they probably said I'm crazy, or I don't know. He's ignoring me, right? And so I'm louder and I start coming close. I'm like, baby. And he looks and I said, don't kick their gate like that. You're going to mess up their gate and they got to pay for that stuff. And then he looks around like this and then he stops. And then only then, about within 5 minutes of that, somebody comes. I'm assuming it's a woman and gets in the white car that's in the parking lot, and with the door open, because I guess she's kind of probably fuming that I even said anything and trying to decide whether or not she's gonna say something to me, or whatever. She's pissed about that. But I'm just like, wow. So the parents were outside, people were outside, but what they were over, they were right there. They were just out of my direct eye view where I could see them, right? They were right there and they didn't say anything. They didn't take the time to say anything or even show any type of response until they saw that someone else spoke to their child. Watch your children. Other people don't want to speak to your kids. Watch your kids. And I'm going to tell you, there was a TikTok video, and it was a big thing, and I don't have time to be posting nothing or nothing like that these days, like real for real posts. I didn't want to do it this way because it takes up space on my phone, and then I got to delete it. It takes up time. But for whatever reason, the live connect ain't going so well. But so watch your kids. I saw this video on TikTok the other day where there was a woman probably 35 to 40, short, chubby, just a nice, clean looking woman, but she was, there was somebody that was vexing her, some child, 13, 14 years old is what the child looked like. And the woman was like, she was approaching her and says, I live here. I live here. You go, where is your mom? She asked the girl 3 or 4 times, where is your mother? Where is your mother? She was like, you need to stop messing with adults. Leave adults alone. And the person's commentary on that was that the woman was inappropriate. She shouldn't be talking to anybody's child. And I was just like, the woman was on her property. She was telling the girl, hey, I live here. Go get your mom. The girl never once got her mom. You need to raise your children. If there's a situation where an adult has to speak to you, and it shouldn't be because I know for me personally as an adult, I don't want to speak, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're saying hello to me and I'm just being courteous and saying hello back, I don't want to have to admonish anyone's child, for the protection of, damage that they're doing to somebody's property, or, them active behavior or trespassing on my property. I don't want to have to. That woman didn't want to have to say nobody, it's no adult that has business going on for themselves want to have to raise one of his children. I intentionally do not have children. I don't want to have to talk to your kids about anything that you should be right there. You're closer to your kids. I'm way across the street. And then from what I hear, you got somebody that just got out of jail, so somebody's child done messed up already. It don't mean that because it could be falsely convicted, accused and convicted. So hey, but I mean, watch your children. Watch the children that are around you. It's not all about just fun and relaxing when you had kids. It's not about fun and relaxing when I don't have kids. I got responsibility too. But please, the commentary was that the woman was inappropriate because she should have spoken to the child. But where's parent? And my response to that is raise, rear, and educate your children. And if you can get to know the adults so they know you and who your kids are. So if there's a situation, they feel comfortable coming to you, or it's not a big deal to come to you, or they know who to go to. Sometimes you don't even know who the parents are, and sometimes the parents are so immature. They're like kids. They sit and that's the whole thing that got me about this situation too, because they were right there. They were just out of my view sight. They were right there. They were right there. And I'll talk about the reasons why. One, because I have my windows open, I sit here, and they probably don't want me seeing them. But on top of that, too, when I was out cleaning my she shed, the couple of guys that was with their little camper, whatever, they kept coming over, and I could see them out the corner of my eye just watching me and recording me, while I'm working on my shed. So that's why I got my cameras out, and I was just like, okay, I need to see what's going on. I don't want to stop what I'm doing to stare at them, so I have my cameras out or whatever, so that if anything happens or crazy pops off, I can clearly see what's going on. When they saw that, they stopped. And so perhaps there was some discussion over there, and they make it so that, I can't see them, they can't see me. They still can see me because they'll stand in the corner like if I'm in a certain section, but it's been made clear, because you can tell by the behavior that, that's what the protocol is. So anyhow, but they were right there. So they heard They heard that child kicking that gate like that. They know they don't have a gate. So they know that they're damaging someone else's property and you're not even saying anything or even going to look to see what's happening or even educating your child before they come outside that, hey, don't mess with anybody else's stuff, you know, educating them that people's things cost money. Don't touch them. Don't mess with them. Or making sure that they're engaged in whatever conversations that they're having. Or making sure that they have activities planned for their children. When you have kids, you basically have a summer camp, a day camp, or whatever at home. You should be actively engaging with your children. So, I shouldn't have to speak to anybody else's child. And had that woman said something to me, I would have said, but yes, I shouldn't have to speak to anyone else's child. No one should have to. Now, with that couple across the street, they'll probably just stay out of it and won't say anything. But no, you know, no. And there's a whole lot of other dynamics that go into that. But that's the point that I wanted to hit. Watch your children, okay? And I still want to go back to the Salvation Army thing and about my behavior and how the homeless behavior, I call it, is demonstrated behavior that shows that when people are not fed love with a spoon, they happily lick it off with knives. With that situation with the Salvation Army, like I said, I went. I think I ran my mouth too much because I'm passionate about the nonprofit thing. So, I was trying to maybe make one-to-one contact on other homeless people or formerly homeless people, but I think a lot of them are street folks. And me telling them that I told them the street I lived on, which was stupid, because now some of those people aren't really homeless. They're probably, like me, but it's just they. But it was men. And so people don't really know me, don't really know where I live. And when I walk up and down the long street, I practically look homeless, you know. So, he was digging for information. Was like, oh, so you're homeless? Because I had asked him about the different, you know, things that go on. I was going to put it, I didn't tell him I was going to put it on my website, but I was getting information. He's like, well, you asking all this, you must be homeless. And I said, well, no, not quite. I shouldn't have answered that question. I should have said, if that's your perception, that's fine. And I should have just left it at that, and see how people treat you based on what you say. Is it a situation where they can take advantage of you or vice versa? But I gave out too much information. And then also I let the person that was at the front desk, even though I don't think she meant any harm, but it's trained behavior on her part, she probably told me to go back there so that she could go and be nosy and look at my stuff and talk about it. But I was sat back there for a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I was like, that's not normal. So I came back out and she didn't even know what it was that I wanted originally. She hadn't even scanned my driver's license, nothing. So she was just chilling, talking to this guy. But there was a whole lot with that interaction. And I acted all happy. And this is another the crackhead behavior. I'm never used drugs, none of that. But because I've been around those types of people and this is the way that they get results, is learned behavior of, when you're not fed love and spoons, to lick it off knives. You act super, super happy and proud to receive the smallest thing. Whereas, I was saying, oh, this woman treated me well, because after keeping me waiting for 45 minutes where she did nothing and didn't even know what I needed, and just gave me a bunch of stuff that I didn't need. And I still had to end up going to the store to get whatever else. And I congratulated for her for that, saying, oh, you treated me well, because she let me stand in the lobby after that. That was stupid. Because what she did was she took 45 minutes of my time, let me waste my time telling her what I needed and wanted, and did absolutely nothing but sat and hung out and chatted. You know, so I have to learn that. You teach people how to treat them. Then that situation at the CVS, y'all saw that. I still think, I still want feedback on that because, like I said, it's really me. And I wanted to see how other people would have handled that situation. I think most people would have just left it at that and went on about their business. But I don't want that to be continued behavior from me where just because somebody tells me something, I do it and I keep moving. I need to be aware about how people are perceiving me and receiving me. Because had that woman not said, why did you look at me like that to the other girl when I came in, I would have been oblivious. I would have been, I just feel weird because but no, it's not. That person, and then when I look back in at it even more, I thought about it, maybe perhaps, one guy when I was going through the legal thing, and I think he was set there by FBI, whoever, I don't know. But he said to me, even my boss was intimidated by you, intimidated, but I'm not attractive now, so what? so crazy. So yeah, but now it's really nothing to be intimidated by. Not that I know of, but sometimes, for better or for worse, people may see you differently than you feel about yourself. You know, but we'll see. And again, I like having interactions that are caught where other people can see them because I want to get feedback. Honest feedback. It doesn't have to be something you think I would like. It could be something, just whatever. Feedback is feedback, and that's how you learn. And if you saw the CVS video, that's what I'm all about, learning. I'm about learning. So, when you view, learn. If you have, and I'm sure there are people that may have just looked me up because perhaps we work together. And I'm so honest, I put my information all on Zoom like I'm supposed to, but I want the feedback. I really do. And I'll take what I can from it. If I feel that I'm not ready to manage it or whatever, I'll govern it appropriately at that point, but yeah, I need the feedback. So give it to me. Give it to me, baby. But anyways, today I'm gonna go ahead and I really am working inside all day today. The shed is good enough for me. I'm working on the laundry room first. Laundry room is really tiny, but I need to get everything out of it because I need to prepare for the new washer and dryer to be put back in. And I'll get y'all updated. I love you and peace.